welcome to another media theory recap video. So this video is going to look at the media effects debate. The media effects debate itself is an umbrella term for a number of different theorists and media theories, many of which complement or even contradict or disagree with each other, or perhaps sometimes even attempt to disprove each other. So if we were to look at the media landscape as a whole and look at aspects of news, tabloids, broadcast, and any number of other media products such as video games, certain horror narratives in film and television, for example, you are going to look at commentary and you are going to see commentary that the media as a concept is to blame for various aspects of society. And we will look at different aspects of theory that explore this in a little bit more detail. So one of the theories is the hypodermic needle theory, often referred to as the magic bullet theory. It's the theory that passive audience members accept messages that are injected into them by the media. And a number of different theories that we will look at in a second will attempt to disprove that this theory exists. One of which is the two-step flow, which acknowledges that unlike the one-step flow model of the hypodermic needle theory, the majority of people are influenced by the media second-hand through the influence of what they refer to as opinion leaders, in contrast to the one-step flow of the hypodermic needle. So, for example, influencers today may well be social media influencers, perhaps a broader sense that could be celebrities, or perhaps politicians and opinion leaders in society. We also have moral panic, another aspect of the media effects debate. Stan Cohen's theory that the powerful blame a negative situation on a group of folk devils based on fantasy and hysteria and delusion. So we often see this in tabloids and again in news broadcasts, particularly depending on the orientation politically of the newspaper, if it's left-leaning or right-leaning or Leave or Remain or Republican, Democrat, Labour, Tory, that you might find that ideology dictates that certain individuals are blamed for certain things, and we will see commonality there in perhaps minorities and demographics such as immigrants, LGBT, sometimes femininity. Okay, so a group of people who are blamed for certain situations, scapegoated as a folk devil, and they are usually what the particular tabloids might point to as the source of the problem. Desensitization, it's being repeatedly exposed to distressing behavior or circumstances in the media, reduces the impact of that in real life. And we often see this being used against video games and particularly violent media products such as horror movies, where seeing something like a gun or perhaps seeing someone be killed in fiction repeatedly leads to someone being killed in real life. And the impact of that weakening in an individual who perhaps might then not see that as significant when it happens to them in the real world or when it does happen to people around them. This is often also used in respect to the representation of sexuality or the female body, or just commentary on sex in general. So, for example, a women's magazine many decades ago compared to a contemporary media product now, and the attitudes to, for example, a sex scene in a movie compared to perhaps a sex scene in a movie in a more contemporary media product. So again, the attitudes towards something has changed over time because of repeated exposure to that particular idea or concept, be it a gun, be it violence, or be it representation of sexual imagery. Cultivation theory acknowledges the long-term exposure to media shapes how consumers of media products and media perceive the world around them. So again, this links often to video games and again, the moral panic often associated with video games. Copycat theory acknowledges that this behavior is usually negative and is influenced by what those individuals see in the media. This is often critiqued, as many other audience members and other audience theories acknowledge audiences' active choice and large number of other environmental factors. But there is the argument that an individual, perhaps a mass shooting in America, may have been inspired by something that they've seen in a movie and perhaps then copy that behavior in the real world. Marxism would acknowledge and critique the effect of capitalism on the world and acknowledge that capital elites are in conflict with the masses and use moral power to control and exploit them. And it will acknowledge the power capitalism generates to a small number of people, or for a small number of people who have a large amount of money. They often have more control and more power as a result of those at the bottom of that pyramid who may well be the masses but don't have their fair share of the money. And as a result of that top-down model, a small group of people with a large amount of money have a lot of power over a large amount of people with not a lot of money and not a lot of power. So that is Marxism, a critique of the power that capitalism perhaps generates for a small minority with a large amount of political, economic influence. Okay, so there you go. That's a number of different media theorists and media theories that all perhaps fall under the umbrella of the media effects debate. And it is a debate because, as you can hopefully already appreciate, a number of these theories are difficult to outright prove. There's evidence to suggest all of them do occur. There's evidence to suggest that some of them conflict with each other and that not all of them can coexist at the same time. So that might be something to consider in a 20-mark question that asks you to, for example, evaluate the media effects debate. Okay, thank you for watching. Please have a look at my other videos on a number of these theorists that might go into that theory in a little bit more detail. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and good luck for the exam.